Hello, friends. Beginning today, I'm going to share with you some of my clinical experience in treating one of the most commonest complaint, which has troubled not even only the junior practitioners, but many senior practitioners in their practice. And the complaint which we all are mostly troubled is the complaint of cough. How to address cough, or for that matter, asthma, has been a quest to many physicians, and there is a huge amount of literature that has been written in our Materia Medica repertory. Lot of work has been already done, but still we get lost into the huge maze of symptoms that has been written about each remedy. And we all know when a patient comes to us coughing and he's sitting and not able to breathe, how we feel within ourselves. We all have our own constitutional symptoms at that time, especially when a patient is in his state of breathlessness. This has been a quest for me for many years, and I have tried to find some solution which actually gives relief every time or most of the times. So today I am going to discuss with you only those features which I have clinically verified in my practice and with my friends with whom I have shared this. Now, how to approach a case of cough? Basically, if we have any patient who has a chronic cough or has a chronic underlying condition like asthma or any underlying disease which has led to cough, then the most best approach is to individualize and give a constitutional or individual remedy to the patient by coming to the whole patient as a whole, by seeing the most individualistic feature of the person. But today we are going to discuss only those conditions, especially where the patient has come to an acute exacerbation of the problem, sitting in front of you, coughing helplessly, asking for something that will give him relief. In such conditions, what should be our approach? And that is what I'm going to share with you today, classically, only that much. So, when a patient comes to us with an acute condition, there are a few things which a clinician should just scan so that he comes to a remedy that will suit his situation the best. The most important aspect is the observation. What you need to observe. We need to observe the patient in the situation in which he is. We need to hear the kind of cough that he is into. We need to listen to the pattern of cough. If the patient is completely tired, we have a remedy which has tiredness along with the cough. If the patient has sweating on his face, just verify if it is a concomitant with cough. If the patient has a peculiar paroxysm, a peculiar pattern, see what pattern which has this remedy which is suiting the pattern. But very importantly, after you start the case taking, is to ascertain the cause of cough. What started it? Was it an exposure to cold? Or was it a food that he had taken? Was it a weather change? There are a list of triggering factors which I can share you when I do a presentation about a detailed approach in cough. But this is most important that you need to try and understand the cause. After understanding the cause, please inquire into the modality, which we generally do. Everybody does it. But the problem with a novice or a new practitioner is they take the most common modalities. That's exactly what we need not do. We need to focus on something very peculiar. I'll just share you a short example. One of the patient came to me with severe breathlessness. Actually, he was breathless when he came and sat in front of me. I asked him what ameliorates his problem, and he told me a peculiar position that he has to sit on his knees, kneel down, and that makes him feel better. Since he was in an acute problem, I asked him to demonstrate it. And when I examined, his respiratory rate really lowered and he started feeling better. There was only one remedy which made him feel better in that position: cough relief by kneeling. The remedy was causticum. Then you need to verify this remedy by asking questions which will confirm the remedy. But this is something which I need to tell you about how to use the modality. The most important aspect that I give when I am understanding cough is the concomitant. What is so very peculiar about the patient which has come along with the cough, not related to cough? And my friends, start from top to bottom, from head to toe. Just see what is very peculiar from the head to the eye to the nose to the stomach, which is coming along with this cough. After you get something very peculiar, a peculiar modality, try and see if there is something, some system that is associated with it. Many times a systemic association can also trigger a cough, and we have remedies for that. So now you have the modality, then you have the peculiarity, then you have the concomitant, then you have the cause. When all of this come together, you will find something which is unique, which is illogical, which is peculiar, and you should first nail it on that. Take those 2 3 symptoms which have their peculiarity and scan it through your repertory. Now, generally, the repertory gives you remedies which are very close. Like, for example, like I wanted to discuss with a case which I saw just a few days ago. A patient came to me with continuous cough, and the most funny time which he was telling me was every time he was coughing, he used to have eructations. Now, it was so obvious for a clinician that there is a stomach complaint that is associated with cough, which was actually not necessary. Then, when this thing comes as peculiarity, inquire more deeply. And he told me that this cough is very peculiar, that whenever I have a cough, I always have one eructation that come along with cough. I asked him to describe it more. And then he gave me something very peculiar. He says, I am much better when I'm at home or in my cabin when I'm working. But when I'm interacting with my colleagues, this cough just triggers. I start coughing. When I'm taking my coffee, my tea, my cough triggers. My mother always told me to take warm drinks, but I can't take warm drinks, sir. The more I take warm drinks, the cough starts more. This was enough for me to come to the remedy. And the remedy that was coming close, which had stomach complaints, was not only one, but there were quite a few. And the most important aspect for a clinician is to differentiate the closely associated remedies in cough. The remedies that came close were ambroxacia, phosphorus, sulfuric acid, sanguinaria. These were predominating. We all know ambroxacia has eructations while coughing. But ambroxacia is a nervous person. He's a person who's very sensitive to embarrassments. And this man had a typical modality where he was having cough when he used to interact with people and not when he was working with himself. So this actually solidified my prescription on him. And then what is about sanguinaria? Sanguinaria also has eructations. But sanguinaria cough, the patient feels better after passing eructations. He feels better after passing flatus. That is not the situation with ambroxacia. Moreover, sanguinaria cough, if you see, he is a patient who has cough continuously when he is lying down. He has to sit up. That is a kind of spasm which a sanguinaria cough patient has. But ambroxacia patient generally sleeps well at night because the most important trigger, the neurotic part, the nervous part, is well taken care of when he's sleeping. Warm drinks aggravate is not a feature of sanguinaria. Sulfuric acid is another remedy which has gastric complaints coming off with cough. Now, what is in sulfuric acid which is very peculiar? Yes, sulfuric acid has a very peculiar exhaustion of acids, the tiredness. And another important feature which I have verified clinically and it works marvelously in sulfuric acid is hunger during cough. Hunger is a very important aspect of sulfuric acid. Then comes the remedy phosphorus. Now phosphorus also comes to together when especially you're discussing stomach complaints and cough. But phosphorus, as we all know, has a sensitive to cold air. But our ambrosia patient feels better when he is walking in air at night. Now, this itself will differentiate phosphorus from ambrosia. Now, if you are able to differentiate the closely associated remedies, then your prescription becomes very clear. Now, what is this patient? Of course, received ambrosia, and if you have to sum up ambrosia, then what are the things that clinically will help you is what I am going to revise with you. One most important thing is ambrosia is a person who's very nervous and sensitive to external appearances. That is the most important aspect is the embarrassment. Then ambrosia patient has a cough which gets triggered by warmth. Ambrosia has stomach complaints associated with it, and that is eructations. The eructations are very peculiar that whenever he coughs, he has eructations. Then the most important trigger factor which ambrosia has is the warm drinks. If you have these 4 points confirming, then you can very well prescribe ambrosia. But to all the new practitioners, the word of caution is please read the remedy before you prescribe. But these are clinical pointers which I have verified when I have treated the patients with ambrosia and has worked every time. These clinical things, if you know for sure in ambrosia, I think you will be surely treating this cough with immediate results. So that's all for now for ambrosia. We'll meet with the next remedy for cough next time. Until then, happy practicing.